What's up, boys and girls? It is Johnny. So tonight we were talking about one of our Patreon users here, and they've got a question for me. It's of course going to be, kept on the low. But this particular person says, "Hey John, it's so and so. One topic that I would like discussed is in the community, anger management for men, guys. Anger management for men. Great topic, idea. He is a 20-year-old living with lesbian parents, and it's a constant power struggle between us. I do a great job at hiding it, but whenever they tell me to do something, it makes my blood boil. How can men better control their anger so it doesn't affect our health in a bad way?" Wow, guys, what a great question. Let's dive into this. Obviously, this video is going to be here on Patreon, but at some point it might find its way onto the regular YouTube because it is so poignant. This is why I'm wearing my glasses, even though it's a Patreon video. Usually I don't wear the glasses in Patreon. Guys, if you want to ask a question of me, join the Patreon. Patreon.com/GoneWithJohn if you're interested. So, we've got a 20-year-old young man. He lives with lesbian parents. I'm assuming at least one of those is the mom. The other one, obviously, probably not the dad, it sounds like. So, this is a precarious situation, and I have a good solution for him, but this is going to require a little work, and it's going to get, well, there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. The wrong way is severing ties, obviously. So we have to be very careful about this. Now, there's two things to address. One, anger management of the situation. Because the dynamic between the mother and the girlfriend, I reckon, is probably not going to change or go away. He doesn't mention if they're married or not, but regardless of which, the mother is probably going to, So, here's what I recommend. You are a 20-year-old young man. The best way you could possibly deal with this as far as anger management goes is understand that while you are under your mother's roof or your mother and her partner's roof, you kind of have to behave according to what they think and or say, especially if they are paying for bills other than, well, rent, I'm sure. Now, that's not a bad thing necessarily, provided you can control yourself enough to go along with this. I will say this here. The best possible thing you can do would be, one, make sure you don't have anything like drinking or anything that is affecting your mood swings very heavily. Okay, that would be a problematic issue if you had a little too much to drink, got a little too tipsy and said anything that maybe you might regret at some point. That would be bad. The next best thing you could always do to help is releasing more dopamine or endorphins into your body. You do this through exercise. This would be hitting the gym, this would be working out, this would be doing these types of things. I'm assuming that you do indeed love your mother, and there's probably maybe not any hard feelings there because she's in a lesbian relationship with her girlfriend who may or may not live with you guys. It sounds like you all live together. If there is a level of resentment there, whether it's maybe she left the dad for the other one, whatever it was, I would recommend that you probably try to distance yourself. Now, the best advice I can give to a 20-year-old young man who lives with his mom or dad, or both, is to get out on your own. Now, if you just were living with your dad right now, I would tell you, take your time, save some money, work, everything will be fine. Dad will probably be understanding if he's a cool dude. I don't know what your dad is like, but I would say that I would look immediately into employment that is full-time, 40 hours or more, that's going to get you out of the house. This might be driving a truck, being on the road. This might be working at the railroad and traveling because of the railroad. If you live in a coastal city or coastal town, wherever you live in the world, look into the Merchant Mariners program. This is a program where you will work on a cargo ship as some sort of deckhand, cab or crew, or even in the chef kitchen area, preparing food, washing dishes, or perhaps you'll be tying up mooring ropes, unloading cargo, driving cargo loaders, things of this nature. But this will get you out of the house. And if you do go to work for like the Merchants Mariners Association, you could make $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year while traveling. So you'd not only be able to work for a few years and save up some money while living on board the ship that you're working on, you would be away from mom and her girlfriend, which would help alleviate some of the stress on that interesting dynamic. I would look up Joe Franta, Joe space Franta. He is a merchant mariner. He posts his videos on YouTube, and it's basically shows how much money he makes, how long he's gone for, what it's like to live on a cargo ship. You know, the ships that go from Dubai and everywhere around the world, New York, Texas, you name it, anywhere there's a port, cargo has to be traveled, transported to these ports, taken on the ship, brought off the ship, etc., etc., etc. There are something like 1,900 or 2,000 something cargo ships active at any one point in the earth at any one point in time. It's a lot of them. I mean, it's in the thousands. So there are plenty of ships you could always find a job on. And even if you know nothing about it, you can still sometimes get a job in other areas of the ship that aren't related to being a merchant marine. And it's not marine in terms of like the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, not that. It's what you call someone who works on a boat. So typically there is a merchant mariner program you have to go through for safety precautions, what to do if the ship sinks, what to do if it's taking on water, these types of things that you need to know just as part of being on board of a boat. I only know that because I grew up in the yachting capital of the world, and I've spent a lot of time on boats, fishing vessels, as well as living vessels, etc., etc., etc. But I recommend this because the travel would be good for you. Right now, for you as a 20-year-old man, the best thing for you to do, and let me say this, as a 20-year-old straight man, the best thing for you to do is have respect for your mother and her relationship and her house, but leave. Not at the drop of a hat or on a whim. Get your ducks in order, make sure everything's in line and in the row, and then look into different jobs that are going to, one, help you stand on your own 2 feet as a man, because one, you'll have more respect for yourself. Plus, when you're not reliant on your mother's money or roof over your head, this will give you a level of power and respect for yourself that you frankly can't buy. It has to be earned. And in earning it, you will earn money to live also, which will be good for you in the long run. This will also allow your mother and her girlfriend to pursue their relationship or whatever with, one less person in the house. I don't know how many family members you have that live there, but it sounds to me like for you, one less there would be a good thing. Not any heat or shade on your mom, but because you as a human need to do this. As a 20-year-old young man, I'm assuming a straight young man, normal, average guy, you need to start looking into how to better yourself. Exercise is going to be the first step. Hard work is going to be the first step. If you already have a job and you make enough to get a small place, even a small studio on your own would be better than living with your mother and her girlfriend, because it will help push you to do more. It doesn't have to be a nice place or anything like that, but honestly, what I would recommend for you would be the harder way, which is going to pay better. It's going to have more benefits for you. Travel, whether, like I said, railroad, trucking, marine life, on a boat, cargo ships, travel. You'll get to see the world. It'll be an adventure. It's not terribly hard to work on a lot of these cargo ships, while the work is a little bit difficult. While you're out at sea and traveling from place to place, you might just be painting over the rusty spots to make sure the sea doesn't eat through the boat. You might just be sweeping or cleaning up or maintaining the ship, or what they call watch, which is where you walk around the deck, make sure no pirates are boarding or something crazy at nighttime. You get up in the middle of the night and make sure you're not taking on ice or nothing crazy is happening anywhere. and then go back to bed. Or you're on the bridge, which is where the captain drives the ship, or the computers drive the ship while the captain is sleeping. This is going to be good for you. You need to earn enough money to support yourself and be able to get out on your own. And at 20 years old, well, it's time, young man. It's time. Don't waste too much time. Don't get to be my age and decide I'm going to start doing things now. And you are at the perfect age where if you were my son and you were 20 years old, I would tell you it's time to get out of mom's house. Now, let me caveat that with this. I have two sons who are just over 20 years old, a year or two. They're a little, one's older than the other one. One has his own apartment and works building cars and makes decent money. The hours are long, the work is hard, and he is out on his own, standing on his own 2 feet as a man. And that gives him a feeling of respect and honor and duty, even to himself, that he couldn't get anywhere else. And when I think about him, I think about him as a hardworking individual man standing on his own 2 feet, him against the world. There's a lot of honor and dignity when I think about my son that is doing that. My other son, out of his mother's house, has his own place. He recently got married, which is what it is. She seems like a lovely woman. I wish them the best. And they've recently purchased a house. He works very hard as a salesman, selling new cars, used cars, whatever. He works his butt off, but the work pays off. He's building a life for himself. He's not, no longer under his mother. Both of those young men, I should say this. Their mother contacted me for both of them individually at one time and said, your son is thinking of dropping out of college. Your other son is thinking of not going to college. I need you to talk them into going. To which I replied, of course. And then I got both of them on the phone. This was a year apart because they were a year apart. But I talked to my oldest son and I said, so you want to drop out? You're thinking about taking a break? And he said, yeah, this just isn't for me. And I said, fantastic. Don't go back. Because I love my son. And I know he would do better not taking on $100,000, $200,000 in student loan debt and get out to make $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year with his degree. It would be better for him to find a job, start working, start his career, start saving, work hard, even get a trade, become an electrician or a plumber or a truck driver. There's never not going to be a need for somebody that comes and fixes the AC unit or the heating unit or cleans out the pipes or makes sure that things in the house are running. A trade is a wonderful, wonderful thing for a young man, and it's going to lead to more money likely than most college degrees, unless you're a doctor or a lawyer, which neither one of my sons would have enjoyed that line of work, I don't think. So, and my other son, same thing. When he said he didn't feel like going to school, his mom called me, talk to your son, please tell him to go to school. Okay. And then when I talked to him, I told him not to go to school. He didn't want to. It wasn't in his heart. And he was his own person. He was his own human being. He wanted to work, and he didn't mind working hard for what he was going to get. Now, the important part of this is neither one of them, I told them this. You can't be living up under your mom and have your mom paying your bills because she's going to want you to do what she wants you to do. If you're going to take your stand and do it your way, you got to do it. And they both did. They both work very hard. They pay their own bills. This is where you're at, young man, 20 years old. It's essentially go time. It's time for you to decide, well, I want to find out what I want to do with my life. I definitely want to lovingly let mom know that you wish her the best and you've got this great job opportunity and you got to take it and you got to seize the day and it's the best thing for you as a young man. Now she's either going to say, wonderful son, that's great, or she's going to fight you and perhaps want you to be the son husband or the fix-it man or the whatever, because there's not another man in her life. It's her and her girlfriend. So I don't know your mom. I don't obviously, but I know humans. So one of those two things is going to happen. If she's on board, wonderful. If not, you know what you have to do. Politely, kindly, so that one day y'all can fix that up, because ultimately she'll know it's her fault. But when you show her through your success, not your words, not I'm going to do that, have everything done and lined up and ready and in place to do it first. Then you can say, well, Mom, I've got this great job opportunity. I've got to take this job. This is what it's going to entail. I'm going to have to go here and travel here, and they're going to send me, and they're going to pay for everything and pay for my schooling or whatever the case is to train you. This is what I would do if I were you. And I wouldn't wait another day, because it sounds like you could potentially be sitting on a powder keg of emotions. You're in a tough place. You're the odd man out in a place where typically no man is really wanted, if you know what I'm saying. Obviously not you because you're her son, but you understand. Like, you need to heed this warning from me. Don't waste time on this. It's time for you to decide what you want to do and do it well. You aren't going to be able to just live at Mom's and work a minimum wage job or $10, $15 an hour job and stay at Mom's and take the easy road and play video games and hang out with your friends and smoke pot or whatever you do. I don't know what you do. This is go time, and that's what I would do. So, you know how to get in touch with me via private message in my Patreon. Anyone else that's watching this that hasn't joined the Patreon, if you decide that you want to join the Patreon so that you can message me ideas or video ideas or pick my brain, so to speak, on what you should do in your individual circumstance, I recommend it. It's $7 a month to sign up over there. It's probably worth it. I do about 1, maybe 2 Patreon videos a day. They are this type of video where it's the serious stuff. No reaction videos in Patreon, none of that other jokey stuff. This is the more serious side of what I do, is this. So I hope this video helps, and I hope if there's anyone else out there watching that's in this same situation, I hope this helps you. But this is what I would do, young man, and I wouldn't waste any time at all. I would go ahead and get on this. Thank you so much to all of my Patreon subscribers. I really am grateful for all of you guys. I hope you're enjoying the videos. You say you are, so thank you. And for everyone in regular YouTube, if you want to come over to the Patreon, I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to answer your questions in this format. Yes, it does cost you a little bit of money, but this is where you get the real Johnny. So, we'll see you, boys. Appreciate you.